Worship me! I'll burn you alive! Time to die! Darkness, take you!
What up, everybody? This is your boy DJ Mixmaster, and welcome back to Soul Calibur 3. So, last video we finished up Chronicles of the Sword, and we started on our first Tale of Souls, that being Siegfried, and so, second video with his counterpart, Nightmare. So, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And we'll go with the cocoon.
I'll burn you alive!
In the instant that the Spirit Sword pierced the Cursed Sword, the will of Soul Edge escaped into the armor that was the remains of Nightmare. Having moved into a bodiless host, it could now no longer even move. It was at this time that the man with the scythe appeared. The man used secret arts to weave together the spirit of the Cursed Sword and the ghost of the land, summoning forth the physical form and allowing Nightmare to arise. Soul Edge now dwelt in a new vessel. In order to preserve its physical form as well as increase its evil energy, it sought even more powerful, even richer souls. In the end, the twisted compass directing its path would surely point towards freeing Soul Edge itself. Man, I'm so happy because, woo! Trying to do that, trying to talk real fast to make sure I get it all out. I messed up on Siegfried's, but I made sure not to mess up on this one. But we'll see how the other ones go. Anywho, Episode 1, the Romanian Valley. The newly revived body was still unstable, and it would be difficult to achieve the release of Soul Edge immediately. Nightmare set out hunting souls to recover his power, but those of normal human beings did not satisfy his thirst. Eventually, he began to wander in search of warriors with strong souls and people enshrouded in evil energy. Feeling the movement of evil energy, he went to a city in the countryside of Eastern Europe. The city was filled with evil energy and was under attack by armies who feared that power.
Entrust your noble soul in your sword.
I shall share with you my darkness. Ha!
Versus Berserker. Fight!
You win. Blood, darkness, come unto me.
He slaughtered the warrior who was corrupted by evil energy and then rampaged across the battlefield. But the souls of ordinary soldiers offered him no satisfaction. After letting his impulses run wild for a time, he left the battlefield. Soul Edge had been bound by Soul Calibur and carried off by Siegfried, whose mind it at once controlled. Nightmare needed to recover his power as quickly as possible. Alright, seek strong souls. In order to recover his power, it was essential that he devoured more powerful souls. Nightmare searched for those with souls strong enough to catch his eye. There was a holy warrior of an ancient god who had once shattered the cursed sword. If Nightmare were to devour her soul, it would surely increase his power greatly. Nightmare headed for Greece, home of the temple of the ancient god.
Her desire to save her children from darkness drives her to battle.
I want to hear your anguish.
I'm ready to fight you.
Versus Sophitia. Fight!
There we go. Let's,
Struggle, fool! Drown in the cesspool of darkness.
His body shaking, Nightmare carved deep gashes into the temple of the ancient god. He exacted revenge for the past crime of shattering his other half and devoured the woman's soul. After leaving Greece, he wandered Europe in search of powerful souls. Before long, he noticed the presence of a powerful soul. It was the man with the scythe. There were few with a soul of such strength. Nightmare headed to the clock tower where the man was thought to lurk. If he devoured the man, he would surely acquire great power.
You've served your purpose. It's time for you to die. Yes, that's right. That's what it takes.
Do you really think you can stop me?
Versus Zasalamel. Fight! Ring out! You win!
I shall show you the greatest nightmare.
The man who took your true body has left for the east. You don't appear to have fully recovered your power. What will you do? With these words, the man with the scythe disappeared as if melting away. That damnable Siegfried! It would seem that, to release Soul Edge, he would have to head east at some point. But, seeing as we are still weak, we're going to continue to recover strength in this land. Nightmare journeyed throughout Europe seeking strong souls and evil energy. During his travels, he recovered several fragments of the cursed sword and took them into himself. At this point, if he devoured souls as he traveled east, it should be reasonably possible to recover his power before catching up to Siegfried. If he waited too long, he might lose his trail. Well, we're just gonna acquire a little more power first. There should still be things he could accomplish in Europe. Nightmare continued hunting souls. From his victims, he heard that there was a place where fragments of Soul Edge were being gathered. After swallowing that soul, he quickly headed for that place. Upon arriving at the vertical shaft dug in a small island on the sea, Nightmare sensed a fierce and malicious presence. It was most likely someone acting as a guard. Nightmare scoffed.
Two heroes finally meet under the Star of Destiny.
I want to see your madness.
I have no interest in speaking with the dead.
Versus Thief. Fight! You win!
Now, give me Give me your soul.
All right, let's settle this.
Versus Thief. Fight! You win!
Yes, I can see your darkness.
Versus Voldo. Fight!
There we go.
You win!
There is no end to this nightmare.
Nightmare felt like he was being watched. I'm gonna go and hurry on ahead. Nightmare defeated the guard and devoured his soul. He then went on to absorb numerous fragments and further recovered his power, but it was not yet enough to defeat the Spirit Sword. If he did not build up his power further, he would be unable to free Soul Edge. In order to obtain even greater power, Nightmare continued searching for strong flows of evil energy. Eventually, he sensed an incredibly powerful evil force from the Western Sea and paddled out into the stormy waters.
I shall cast you into a watery grave.
Versus Cervante. Fight!
Woo! That was close. Woohoo!
Offer yourself to the unending darkness.
As he traveled from land to land, devouring the souls of those with evil energy, Nightmare's own evil energy gradually increased. It was still not enough, however, to defeat the Spirit Sword. If he did not build up his power further, he would be unable to free Soul Edge. Seeking even greater power, he wandered the earth, eventually passing through the Far East. Even in this distant land, his name began to become synonymous with terror.
She roams the lands, her blade of hatred concealed in purest silk.
You shall become my nourishment.
My life is not yours for the taking.
Versus Setsuka. Fight! You win!
Gather before me, darkness of the abyss.
Having devoured countless souls, Nightmare's power had now greatly recovered. With this, he could surely challenge the detestable Spirit Sword. He now began his search for Siegfried in earnest. One day, he heard rumors of a man who was boasting that he would destroy Soul Edge. It was an absurd claim worthy of no attention, but it was also insulting. Obviously, our pride is hurt. There's no way we can let this stand. So we're gonna cut down the boastful man as a warning to others. Nightmare decided to test the words of this man who claimed he would destroy Soul Edge. The man's soul would surely be of some use. However, once he arrived in that land, he found that the man in question had been holed up inside a giant underground ruin for some time. The entrance to the ruin gave off a fearsome aura. A portion of that was no doubt caused by the spirit of the man himself. Seeking to devour that soul, Nightmare entered the labyrinth.
His poisoned blood fuels his rage against the world.
Devastation for the weak.
You will have no chance to strike.
Versus Raphael. Fight!
Nice try.
Woo! Okay.
You win.
Blood, darkness, come unto me.
The man who had attacked him had been strongly possessed by evil. Nightmare had not expected to face such an opponent here. Nightmare defeated the man and quenched his thirst with his soul, then walked on. Nightmare continued through the labyrinth, but no matter how far he went, he felt no sign of its end. He began to feel he might even be going in circles. Proceed further in. As he proceeded further in, the air grew thicker. For a while now, Nightmare had been feeling the presence of someone ahead of him, and it seemed this being had an excellent soul. Nightmare turned back and began to walk. Perhaps his target noticed this action, for his presence grew sharper. It was a promising reaction.
Watched over by the Almighty Ones, they unleash their fury.
I shall show you the end of days.
I will never yield to the likes of you.
Arthur, huh?
Versus
Okay.
Unknown Soul. Fight!
Let's go.
No! Ah! There goes the run. Dang it.
You are not worthy to challenge me.
Man!
9.
Offer your soul.
There goes the run. Man, I'm mad. I did all of that work just to lose here.
Versus Unknown Soul. Fight!
Let's go.
Arthur is the most difficult one out of all the characters because Samurai is the most annoying! Ah!
You lose.
You picked the wrong person to fight.
9.
Samurais are the most crappiest ones to deal with.
Shall be.
They have quick strikes and they have a lot of attack throws. Ah!
Versus Unknown Soul. Fight! You win.
Let darkness take you.
His opponent had been an experienced warrior. His soul was exquisite, and Nightmare's power grew even stronger and more terrible. Just how deep did this labyrinth go? He was no longer even certain whether he was proceeding deeper inside. Still, there was nothing to do now but keep moving forward. In the end, though, Nightmare left the labyrinth without obtaining the soul of the man and began to search for Siegfried in earnest. The time had come to defeat the spirit sword and free his true body. It seemed that Siegfried had stopped in an unpopulated location to reduce the damage that their battle would cause. He too knew that the time for battle was close. The time for the final battle between the two swords was at hand.
The time is ripe. You shall become part of me. This time, I shall take my body back.
Versus Siegfried. Fight! You win!
I shall show you the greatest nightmare! I'm impressed that you made it this far. Not bad at all. My dream is about to be realized. You, however, are not worthy of witnessing this glorious moment. Leave this place at once. That's the best you can do. How weak.
Versus Abyss. Fight! You lose.
And the power of hellfire sink into your soul.
9.
Give me your darkness. You would stand against me. Prepare.
Versus Abyss. Fight! You win!
Offer your soul to darkness.
It's nearby. Don't leave your post.
Alright, y'all. So, there goes Nightmare's Tale of Soul. Dang, I'm so mad. I got so far just to lose to stupid Arthur. Anywho, with that, I believe this is a good place to take a break. Next video, we'll move on to another character. So, like and comment on the video. Subscribe for more gameplay. And with that, see ya. Peace.